What's up, YouTube? Uh, I'm gonna make this one short and quick. I got to get back on my wheel as far as putting out content. Um, Something that's really been bothering me is the immigrants, Black, African, Haitian, Jamaican. They turning on us. It's getting to the point where it's beyond a pushback. So I just wanted to share a couple things with you. Uh, I I don't know what to say to these people. They won't listen. They actually buck broken. They don't care how bad they look. They don't. It's but whatever we say, whatever they say. Look. You have no culture. You have no culture. What do you have? I want to share a post real quick. I want y'all. Hopefully, everybody can see this. Everybody saw the time show at the Super Bowl, and Rihanna. I ain't a big fan of hers, but she has been on record disrespecting not only Malcolm X but Martin Luther King. But she loved to say she's of Caribbean descent. Read what this young man said. Yay! An Afrobeats theme halftime show. Surely this will bring toilets to the tens of millions of Nigerians who defecate in the open, and that's the truth, or stop the Chinese and Arabs, Indians, and white people from planting flags on your continent. But wait a minute. We don't have no culture. We ain't never accomplished nothing. We have never accomplished anything. You say, look, look here. You don't do nothing. All right? We don't do nothing. We ain't never accomplished nothing. We didn't. We ain't never got ran out our continent because we ain't never had one. So with that in mind, I want to also show you another video. I've been sitting on this one. Listen to this. And shout out to Phil Scott. I don't want to take any of his, fair use, fair use. He's got the most, I would say, as far as really clear cut, well broke down things. So I'm gonna use his stuff instead of the one that I would have used from Twitter. So we gonna listen to this.
They have the interest of Nigerians at heart. They will come to the head out, they will reach out to the Indian government for proper, at least, negotiation in order for these little children to go. While there are some other children over here who.
You got so much culture. You got so much culture, you can't take care of your own country. But you come over here and poo poo on us. And they say, you, you African Americans, you hate us. No, what we doing is doing some straightening. Look at you begging to get somebody else's country.
Some of them, they've lost their parents. Some of them, their parents are in jail and they need to go back home to reunite with their extended family, but they are all being denied here.
To go back home and reunite with your family that you just flee from. Make that make sense. You'd have been cool if you was to walk out them gates and not have to look back. You wasn't thinking about your people to reunite with your family, whatever.
So please and please, we are begging the federal government of Nigeria to at least do something about it. And I want to plead with all Nigerians to at least spread this video, share it all over every platform. Share this.
This is sad. But we ain't got no culture. We don't have no culture. You know, they'll come up here and tell us, man, we were not slaves. Okay, what are you now, punk?
Video over every platform so that it can reach out to the appropriate authority in order for them to do the necessary things. So please, we are making this video for the Nigerian government. Please, if they intro the head out, they will reach out to the Indian government for proper, at least, negotiation in order for.
Why would you need to reach out to that you never came from and you had your own? But I'm gonna keep repeating myself. But African Americans don't have no culture.
These little children to go. While there are some other children over here who, some of them, they've lost their parents.
You know, over the years, I have been seeing these videos pop up more.
All right. I want to jump off, stop sharing that because that feels content. And I hope you don't have in mind me using that because that's one of the better versions of it I've seen. But something else I want to bring up is look at this video. Bear everybody. I'm going to share the screen real quick. I want you to look at this and they will jump on. I've seen this time and time again on Twitter and all these different spaces where they get on there. Akata, black people, we are not like them. I am from Jamaica. I am not black. I am this. I am that. Okay, then. Fine. Tell me why you can't do this in your own environment. Look at this story.
In South Africa abolished apartheid, a system of racially segregating black people from white people. The country got rid of it in the 1990s, but the spirit of apartheid is still alive in some places. One of them is Orania, a remote town in the country's north, often called the last outpost of apartheid. Why? Because Orania is a whites-only town. Black people cannot live or work here.
People can even live on their own piece of earth. Listen to this. Listen to this. But we have no culture.
Every job is reserved for the whites. Every task performed by white people. And yet the residents of this town insist they're not racist. Here's a report.
Welcome to Orania, a remote farming town in South Africa's Northern Cape. It prints its own money, runs its own banks, has its own holidays, and
prints his own money, owns his own bank, has his own holiday in your slab of concrete or dirt. But once again, black African Americans don't have no kind of culture.
manages its own affairs. Sounds like the perfect township to relocate, right? Well, hold your horses. To enter Orania, you have to qualify on certain parameters. The foremost is the color of your skin. It has to be white, because Orania is a whites-only town. The uniqueness is too obvious to ignore. Wherever you go in this township, you will only find Afrikaners. White people with Dutch ancestry. They do all the work, from playing the piano at the church to reading out the Bible to believers, to running the kitchen at a restaurant. to even gardening at orchards. All jobs, big or small, are reserved for white people.
You ought to be ashamed. You ought to be ashamed.
But the residents of this town insist that they're not racist.
We are from Africa. That's why we call ourselves Afrikaners. We want to remain here. We also want to...
Did y'all just catch that? We are from Africa, a continent that they colonized, took it over, and now they can consider themselves Afrikaners from taking something that wasn't their place. If you go back to the beginning of this segment, they were actually from Dutch heritage. So you just colonized and took somebody, and I'm sorry, I feel nothing because I listen to the ones that's over here and how they talk to us, how they don't want to bond with us, they call us akatas and this, that, and the other. I'm gonna keep playing.
Retain our identity. Now, to retain one's identity is not a racist impulse. We wanted to retain our identity against the English or the British imperialism also, and they're even whiter than we are, much whiter.
Orania is often dubbed as the last outpost of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation. South Africa abolished apartheid in the 1990s, but the legacy lives on in Orania. In fact, the township was founded by the son-in-law of Hendrik Verwoerd, South Africa's former prime minister, who's considered to be the architect of apartheid. Verwoerd's bust lies at the museum in this township, serving as a reminder of his beliefs. As for Nelson Mandela, the man credited with ending apartheid, the people of Orania don't really hold him in high regard.
I don't think that I can see him as a hero because he's part of a whole package. Mandela is part of a...
They are in the old continent telling you, your leader, I don't have a regard for him, while telling you you can't step in a town in your own country. Once again, we don't have no culture.
Whole package. And as Mandela, all the other leaders within the ANC make a contribution to create some policy that is, from our viewpoint, not necessarily for the best of this country.
A hero, they say, and the greatest, they insist, is this all an attempt to protect their culture. This township is legal as per South Africa's constitution. An article defends its right to self-determination, but Orania's ambitions could soon spell trouble.
So let me get this straight. In your own country, let somebody come in and discriminate you openly in your own country, and then you want to stand there and actually make this legal? People, come on.
Because the people here say their next goal is the creation of an Afrikaner Republic, a white-only autonomous region within South Africa. Bureau Report.
Oh. Can you see how problematic that is? Can y'all see how These people let them come over there and take over. Tell them, you know what? Matter of fact, we just gonna take all your resources. We're gonna take everything, and then we're gonna tell you to get to kick rocks. But once again, African Americans don't have no culture.
WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country.
I think that's about for that, and I'm gonna end the video on that. People, come on now. I wouldn't have a problem with that because I don't have a dog in that fight, but I do have a problem with them people, those Africans and Nigerians and Haitians, come at me as a black man and grew up over here in the United States and have people who really fought and did a lot of great things. A lot of stuff gets swept down on the rug. Those type things. For y'all to come over here and disrespect us and for us to have access to look at that, they are telling you in your own country you ain't welcome. And matter of fact, we're gonna change it to white only. So bump what you talking about in your own country, your own continent. And I'm gonna end on this, but we don't have no culture.